Good morning, and we are in chapter 32. Jacob sees angels and a few other things, and he is going to see his brother as well. Well, actually, he's not going to see his brother yet, but he's preparing to see his brother. And Jacob went on his way, and the angels of God met him. And when Jacob saw them, he said, "This is God's host," and he called the name of that place Manaheim. So basically, Manan, I believe, means camp. So two camps, basically, if I remember right, or two hosts or two camps, or camps. And Jacob sent messengers before him to Esau, his brother, unto the land of Seir, the country of Edom. Remember, his brother as vowed to kill him next time he sees him, and Jacob remembers this very well, even though it's been 20 years. And he commanded them, saying, "Thus shall ye speak unto my lord Esau." Notice the reverence that he shows unto Esau here. "Thy servant Jacob saith thus, I have sojourned with Laban, and stayed there until now. I have oxen, asses, flocks, and men servants and men servants and women servants. I have sent to tell my Lord that I may find grace in thy sight." And the messengers returned to Jacob, so it was really quick, saying, "We come to thy brother Esau, and also he cometh to meet thee, and 400 men with him." That must have been really scary to think, oh, wait a minute. That's a lot of people if he's just coming to say hi. Then Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed, and he divided the people that was with him, and the flocks and the herds and the camels into two bands, so he makes two groups. Also, think about it from Esau's point of view. He's not seen Jacob for 20 years. He doesn't know what Jacob is planning on doing. So maybe he was preparing with his men to make sure that things didn't go south again. Remember, Esau's 20 years older, probably 20 years wiser as well. And said, "If Esau come to the one company and smite it, then the other company which is left shall escape." So he's planning out. He thinks, well, if he attacks me here, then they will be safe there, that sort of thing. I think a lot of it is thinking, on top of everything else, that he has posterity that he needs to protect, and probably had them separated for that reason. And Jacob said, "O God of my father Abraham, and the God of my father Isaac, the Lord which saidst unto me, Return unto thy country and thy kindred, and I will deal well with thee. I am not worthy of the least of all the mercies and of all the truth which thou hast showed unto thy servant. For with my staff I passed over Jordan, and now I am become two bands. Deliver me, I pray thee, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau, for I fear him lest he will come and smite me, and the mother of with my children." And thou saidst, I will surely do thee good, and make thee seed as the seed of the sea, which cannot be numbered for multitude. And he lodged there, in the same night. And took that which came to his hand, a present for Esau his brother. 200 she-goats. This is quite a lot. Just think about this gift, huh? 200 she-goats, 20 goats, and 200 ewes, and 20 rams, 30 milk camels with their colts, and 40 kine, and 10 bulls, 20 she-asses, and 10 foals. I feel like that should be interesting. I'm just picturing it as a song at Christmas time. On the first day of Christmas, the my true love gave to me 200 goats and 20 he-goats. Oh my heavens, could you imagine? Anyway, he delivered them into the hand of his servants. Every drove by themselves, and said unto his servants, pass over before me, and put space betwixt drove and drove. He's basically still splitting everything up so it's harder if something goes wrong. So he has each animal in their separate things and being driven separately. And he commanded the foremost, saying, when Esau my brother meeteth thee, and asketh thee, saying, whose art thou? And whither thou goest? Where goest thou? And whose are these before thee? Then thou shalt say, they be thy servant Jacob's. It is a present sent unto my lord Esau. And behold, and behold, also he is behind us. And so commanded he the second and the third, and all that followed the droves, saying, on this manner shall ye speak unto Esau when ye find him. So he's setting a plan that each time, he sends out the sheep, and they say, oh, this is from Jacob. Oh, send out the rams. Oh, this is from Jacob. Each one separately and in time. And say, moreover, behold, thy servant Jacob is behind us. For he said, I will appease him with the present that goeth before me. And afterward I will see his face. Peradventure he will accept of me. So went the present before him, and himself lodged that night in the company. So when the present before him, and himself lodged that night in the company, he rose up that night and took his 2 wives and his 2 women servants and his 11 sons, and passed over the ford of Jabbok. And he took them and sent them over to the brook, and sent over that he had. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. And we're just going to look on the side here really quick. What significance of Jacob's wrestle? When Jacob had left his homeland for Haran, Esau wanted to kill him because of their disputes over the birthright. After Jacob worked for Laban for 20 years in Haran, the Lord instructed Jacob to return to Canaan, promising, "I will be with thee." Although Jacob obeyed, he feared that Esau might do to him and his family. Before reuniting with Esau, Jacob sought solitude and divine assistance. At this point, the account says that Jacob wrestled all the night with a man. It is unclear who the man was. Some think he was an angel, while others suggest he was mortal, a messenger sent from God. The Hebrew word used for the man in this verse these verses, supports both possibilities and could even refer to God himself. What is apparent is that Jacob desperately desired a blessing. This wrestle was how he obtained it. After Jacob's experience, he declared, "I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved." The experience confirmed for Jacob the Lord's promise and helped prepare him to meet his brother. And, So, when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint, and as he wrestled with him. And he said, "Let me go, for the day breaketh." And he said, "I will not let thee go, except thou bless me." I think it's really, you have to read it slow a few times to understand who was holding who and everything. But Jacob is holding this angel or this man. And he said unto him, "What is your name?" Obviously, he knows who Jacob is. But he's asking it for a reason. And he said, "Jacob." So Jacob answers him and says, "Jacob." He wants him to say his name so that he can show him something. And he said, "Thy name shall no more be Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince has thou power with God and with men, and hast prevailed." So Israel, of course, means one who has prevailed. We'll look at the footnote anyway. Or perseveres. He perseveres with God. It may mean let God prevail. And we've got a thing on priesthood power of God there too. And just to add, why is Jacob's name changed to Israel? Think about it. Jacob's name is supplanter in Hebrew, the name associated with the idea of replacing another by deception. Esau saw Jacob in this way. When Jacob secured both the birthright and the blessing that were supposed to belong by right to Esau, the oldest son. But after Jacob's night wrestle, the Lord changed Jacob's name to Israel, of this experience, President Russell M. Nelson taught, for a moment, let us recall a crucial turning point in the life of Jacob, the grandson of Abraham, at the place Jacob named Peniel, which means the face of God. Jacob wrestled with a serious challenge. His agency was tested through this wrestle. Jacob proved what was most important to him. He demonstrated that he was willing to let God prevail in his life. In response, God changed Jacob's name to Israel, meaning let God prevail. God then promised Israel that all the blessings that had been pronounced upon Abraham's head would be also his. Jacob's name changing to Israel represented Jacob's personal transformation. Israel also became the name of the nation that would descend from him. From his 12 sons came the 12 tribes of Israel. The name Israel became synonymous with people chosen by God to carry out his covenant. Remember, this is a story about covenants, and Israel plays a big part in that. Jacob asked him and said, tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, wherefore is it that thou dost ask after my name? And he blessed him there, basically saying, do you really have to ask that? And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, which we just talked about. For I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved. And he passed over Peniel. As he passed over Peniel, the sun rose upon him, and he halted upon his thigh. Therefore the children of Israel eat not the sinew which shrank, which is upon the hollow of the thigh, unto this day, because he touched the hollow of Jacob's thigh in the sinew that shrank. That gives a little bit of how they look in the covenants. And I think it's amazing how he gets this blessing and he changes his name. He's no longer a usurper. He is someone that prevails with God. And it's something that we have to remember in our lives as well. And we'll see how Esau really reacts to this tomorrow.